Shalom. This week's Sedra is Sedrat Matos. Months ago we read God's command not to take revenge or bear a grudge. The pasuk said, "You shall neither take revenge from nor bear a grudge against the members of your people." The Rambam wrote the details of both of these prohibitions, and he wrote as follows: "A person who takes revenge against a colleague transgresses a Torah prohibition. Even though revenge is not punished by lashes, it is a very bad trait. Instead, a person should rise above his feelings, above all worldly things. For men of understanding consider all these things as vanity and emptiness, which are not worth seeking revenge for." Similarly, anyone who holds a grudge against another Jew violates a Torah prohibition. It's a different one. A person who acts in this manner violates the prohibition against bearing a grudge. Instead of bearing a grudge, he should wipe the matter from his heart and never bring it to mind. As long as he brings this matter to mind and remembers it, there's the possibility that he will seek revenge. Therefore, the Torah condemned holding a grudge, requiring one to wipe the wrong from his heart entirely, without remembering it at all. This is a proper quality which permits a stable environment, trade, and commerce to be established among people. A few weeks ago we read of the Midianite people's seduction of the Jewish men. Using their women as prostitutes, they led the Jewish men to sin and disconnect from God. The Torah said that the people began to commit harlotry with the daughters of the Moabites. They invited the people to the sacrifices of their gods, and the people ate and prostrated themselves to their gods. The Jewish people became attached to the Midianite god, Baal Peor, and the anger of the Lord flared against Israel. In response to the Midianite action against the Jewish people, we read in this week's Sedra that God spoke to Moshe saying, "Take revenge for the children of Israel against the Midianites. Afterwards you will be gathered to your people." So Moshe spoke to the people saying, "Arm from among you men for the army, that they can be against Midian and carry out the revenge of the Lord against Midian." It seems that God's command to take revenge against Midian contradicted his earlier prohibition of taking revenge. But of course we know that God didn't contradict himself. In Pirkei Avos, Rabbi Shimon the son of Gamliel was quoted as having taught, "By three things is the world sustained: justice, truth, and peace." Many times the chase for justice and peace can't exist simultaneously. Peace sometimes excludes justice, and yet Rabbi Shimon maintained that they can. Peace and justice can coexist, but there are times that strength and violence are required to achieve this difficult equilibrium of peace and justice. Only by crushing the enemies of peace can peace be achieved. This was Rabbi Shimon's lesson, and why God wasn't contradicting himself when he commanded revenge against Midian. As enemies of peace, it was only with the annihilation of the Midianites could peace come to both the Jewish people and anyone else in the world. Shabbat Shalom.